Wow, I haven't done this in a while. So, my name's Matthew Luderick, and this is me. So, I haven't posted a video in so long on my channel or like on any like social media with an actual camera that I'm recording on right now. And it kind of feels good to you know get back on it. And so I just want to talk about why I want to get back on here. I want to tell you some of my background to hopefully inspire some people and to just lay the foundation of what I'm going to be doing in the future. Pretty much to start this off with my story, let's just start it off at probably 7th grade because I feel like, I pretty much had a normal childhood, even though when I was really, really young, I got diagnosed with PDD, which is persuasive developmental disorder, and that kind of set me back. I couldn't be able to speak until 6 years old. I had speech therapy and stuff, but look at me now. I'm talking perfectly now. And so, come 7th grade, I started having anxiety. I wasn't really confident talking to people. I really wasn't the best version of myself. I mean, that's it's kind of what puberty does to you. And, I know other people that go through that, but it really does suck. And basically, like, that's probably the starting point of, like, where everything just leads to one another. So, 7th, 8th grade, graduate, go on to my freshman year of high school where, you know, I got into sports like volleyball, and I tried for basketball, didn't make it. Tried for baseball, didn't make it. So I really just played volleyball that year. And so I didn't really think that at the time I didn't have that many friends, but I guess I was just selfish at the time because looking back on it, I really did have a lot of friends, but I just didn't realize that at the time because, and I still feel this way about me, I'm pretty much a perfectionist. I want one way to go to another and another thing to go to this way, but it's just not really how life works. So I just kind of looked at myself as, as kind of a victim of just being selfish looking back on it. And so I had the crazy idea to just take actions into my own hands and just transfer into another school to try to become, the popular one there. But this ain't a movie, and it didn't really work like that. So I transferred to a private school with almost like 500 students there. It was really small, and it was really cliquey too. And it pretty much backfired on me because everyone treated me differently because everyone kind of knew each other for so many years, and I just set myself in. Like, when I was shadowing there, it felt right to me. Everyone was treating me so nice, but when I went there, it was totally different. And I started getting panic attacks, and they would mostly happen when I was walking up the stairs to my homeroom and stuff. Like, my heart would be beating, just walking by, students that, I'm just afraid to even conversate with because I know that they're going to treat me differently or make fun of me and stuff because of who I am as, or who I was as a person. Not saying I was, a bad person or stuff like that. They just liked taking advantage of me, of my emotions and stuff like that. And so I ended up surviving that. And I transferred to another different school and pretty much stayed there. But, that's when I started going to therapy. I started taking medications that I still use to this day because I still get panic attacks and I get anxiety here and there and stuff like that, which is nothing wrong because, everyone everyone gets anxiety once in a while, and some people get panic attacks. But if you get panic attacks yourself, I just want you to know that you're not alone. You're definitely not alone. I know what you're going through. I don't know, a lot of other people know what you're going through, as they're going through the same thing probably. So just know that you can get help. It does work. All you just need to do is take action. Like, I take 2 separate medications every time I go to bed. This is sertraline and hydroxyzine, which is both antidepressants. So yeah, I just stayed junior and senior year at the high school that I graduated from, and it was a way better experience than the private school that I went to, because I had friends from middle school that went to the high school that I graduated to, so I knew people all there already. And I'm not saying that it was perfect by any means, because we went through the pandemic. I graduated 2021. I didn't have a prom or anything like that. It wasn't really like cookie cutter kind of high school experience. Like, it was definitely unique by any means. We had the mask and stuff, and I wouldn't really trade it for anything, because I could tell people that I went through a pandemic through high school, and it definitely wasn't really a normal high school experience. And I feel like it pretty much changed the trajectory of my life, and definitely a lot of other people's lives. So, and then end of senior year, I was gonna go to Western Kentucky University, and I waited all through summer and get there. I went there a week early to like move in to this thing called Master Plan, where like all the freshmen come in and stuff and get acclimated to the campus. The campus is really great, and I tried rushing and stuff to see what it was like. Honestly, it was one of the best weeks of my life, honestly. And then the worst case scenario came, which was I got COVID, like really, really bad. Like, I thought I was literally gonna die. And so my mom had to pick me up from the dorm and basically just drive me home, because I didn't want to stay there or anything, because I felt like I wouldn't get help whatsoever. And she drove me, basically my house was 8.5 hours away from the campus, so she drove me almost a whole day to get me here and back, which I'm forever grateful for. And so I had the decision to make to either drop out or stay, because classes were already starting, and I felt as if I was going to be not able to do the classes properly, because I thought my assignments were just going to be very late and very different. And just driving back there again, I don't want to put them through that. So I made a decision to drop out. And so, yeah, thanks COVID. What happened next was I still wanted to go to college, and I had to make the decision on where I wanted to go. And so I ended up going to UW Oshkosh, which is 2 hours away, so less travel time, and in the same state as well. And so I chose to go there and spent a semester there, and it was pretty much a shell-shocking moment for me, because I felt like I was back sophomore year at that private school, because I felt like I didn't have that many real friends. Like, I had a few, but I felt like everyone just like meaning like the people at the dorms and stuff, I felt like they just stood me up and didn't really take me seriously as a friend. So, and I just felt alone, and I felt like I wouldn't have a great college experience there. And so I made a decision to transfer again, which comes up as, I think it's a very inspiring story, because how it actually happened was I came back from this house party and I was not really sober. And so I head back to my dorm room, which my roommate wasn't there. And, I just flopped into my bed and I was thinking, I'm going through it. Like, I'm having like the worst grades of my life. I ended up with like 3 season 2Ds at the end of the semester, which is very unlikely of me. And, I didn't have any real people around my circle there. I, was going through some sort of relationship issue, and I just felt lost and alone and just empty. I felt empty. And so something happened inside me where something just clicked just like that. And so what happened was God put a plan in my head to get to UW-Madison, which is, in my opinion, the best school in the world. And so he put that plan in my head, and I just sobered up quickly. And I thought to myself, do you really want to look back in yourself 5-10 years into your life and just look back at that and see yourself miserable and not doing anything with your life and just being alone and empty? So next morning I called up my parents and I said, I want to go to UW-Madison. I want to try and get into that school. And people who know how tough it is to get in that school, it is really tough. It is probably like one of the most prestigious non-Ivy League schools to get into. And so we made a collective plan to transfer out of UW-Oshkosh because I felt like I wouldn't get the proper grades that I needed to just because of that environment alone. So I transferred to UW-Parkside, which is 30 minutes away from my house. So I just commuted there, so I had the proper environment to be in and stuff, just focusing on my classes and everything like that. And I worked my absolute butt off. I can't even fathom like the type of work that I put in those courses, like those 2 semesters that I had to get the proper grades for, because like I said, my UW-Oshkosh semester, like if I would have stayed at UW-Oshkosh, I would have been on academic probation. And it kind of had me as a reminder that don't go back to that. Don't let that drag yourself down. Don't have it define you. And so I didn't let it define me because I got A's and B's in pretty much all of my classes. I aced both my Spanish courses, which, if you know me, I suck at foreign languages. Like English, I'm good with that. Like if you ask me to say something in Spanish right now, you're not gonna get a full coherent sentence. You're just not. And so after the second semester that I finished, I applied to UW-Madison. I did the essay, did the recommendations, stuff like that. I did everything that they told me to do. Like that. I tried writing the best essay that I possibly could. And on St. Patrick's Day, ironically, I got the email that I got into UW-Madison, and I was so ecstatic because I didn't think I had my doubts, but there wasn't really a moment where I was like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna get in, because it's a really tough school to get into. And so I just took the leap of faith, and it worked. It actually worked. I had faith in the plan God gave me to go through. And I felt like all my hard work paid off. All my hard work paid off. And so time goes by. I went to UW-Madison. I had the greatest experience of my life, honestly. It's the best school ever. If you want to go to UW-Madison, please go to there. Please, because it's such an amazing school. It's such an amazing experience. You'll get every ounce of the college experience ever. And so, end up graduating from there. I graduated with a communication arts degree in the radio, film, and TV route with the Bachelor of Arts, not the Bachelor of Science. And what I have been doing this past month and a half or so is just looking for jobs. And if you know anyone that's looking for a job, you know that it's tough out there right now. I don't get how the job market right now is so bad right now. Something happened yesterday that really took a hit on me, that I just pretty much lost all motivation that day to do anything. And so the email was, your qualifications are impressive, however we're moving to different candidates, which it really took a toll on me, because how are you going to tell me I have impressive qualifications but you're moving on to different candidates? Like, it doesn't really make sense to me. And so that it really took a hit on me. And I mean, it's not really going to stop me, but it really just, it put a bullet through my heart, because it sucks hearing that. It really does suck. So the point I'm trying to get at with this sort of thing is that, you know, no matter how much you go down, the only way to go is up, because I have been through ups and downs in my life. I've been, you know, the lowest parts of my life being alone and empty. I'm not saying I am right now. Like, you know, I feel like I'm down more than up right now, obviously, because of, you know, the jobs and stuff, and I'm pretty much not really doing what I need to do with making myself happy in life. What I'm doing here is sort of inspiring other people on this journey that I'm going to be on. And I want y'all to be a part of it, because I want to not make a promise, but make a true statement that I am going to manifest, because I want to change my life again, because I could do it once, I could do it again. And I feel like this is a great start to how I am going to make myself comfortable in life, because I feel like the fruits of my labor are weighing me down to the point where I just don't want to do anything right now. Like, you know, I wanted to make this video yesterday, but that email it really took a hit. And, you know, actually I wanted to make this video many times during this period of from me graduating until now, but I just never did it until I am doing it right now. And so I want to leave y'all with this. It's the statement that I want to make, and I want to be it as a manifestation, because one day I'm going to look back at this and be like, I did it again. I can manifest what I need out in life, or what I want. So I will be successful. In everything that I do, I will do my best at. I will be comfortable in life. I will support my family. I will support anyone in my circle. I will have a massive following of people that I can inspire and create for them, not just for myself, but for them. I will be fruitful. I will be active, not only physically, but spiritually and mentally, and I will succeed in all of these goals. Because my brother once told me, it's not if you can do it, it's how you can do it. Like I said, I already did it once in my life. I can do it again. And this right here is a starting point of that. So I want y'all to be in this journey with me of me bettering myself, creating good content for y'all, because I think that's one thing that I'm passionate about. Throughout middle school, I tried making YouTube videos. You can't find them anywhere. You can't find them anywhere. They're on my school account and they deleted it. But I would just watch all these Let's Play YouTubers like Kabarnamani456 or these Minecraft YouTubers like Sky Does Minecraft and all those old YouTubers that I would watch, and I was like, I want to do that because it just looks fun to me. And it was fun to me. You know, I would grab my mini laptop that the school provided, I would turn it over, and this is when YouTube only allowed webcam recordings for only 15 minutes, so I only had 15 minutes to make a video, and I really had fun doing it. And, you know, look at myself now. I have a proper camera. There's no restrictions on how long this video would make me to take. And it's going to be a great journey because I feel like it's going to all be worth it in the end, no matter how the outcome is. And so, once again, I want y'all to join me on this journey of me. And, you know, here are my socials right here, and please go follow them because we're going to go crazy. We are going to go crazy, and I want y'all to be part of this journey because it's going to be great. Yeah. I feel as if recording this video has put a new fire on me because recording this right now, it feels kind of euphoric in a way that not a lot of people can feel when they do this. And so this is just motivation for me to just do everything I can in order to fully become comfortable in life. So please follow my socials, join me on this journey, and we're gonna go crazy. Thank you.